Welcome to another MP4Nation.net play and review. Today we have the new JXD 980. It's one of JXD's latest players. It uses the new Sunplus 8000 chipset. Sunplus chipsets are pretty much only available on JXD players. The big thing about this chipset is its ability to play high resolution videos. And now if you just look in here, if it little focuses, you can see that it says, there's a little remark there that indicates a 1280 by 720 resolution. Now this is what it's saying is that this chipset can handle that high resolution. It can play that videos in that high resolution. Now I'm going to show you part of that statement is true, and part of that statement is, a bold-faced lie. Anyway, here's a box with a 980. It's pretty much a standard JXD packing that we've come to see. Your standard accessories, your cleaning cloth for the screen, your video in and out cables. It can be used both for recording and viewing on your TV. Standard 5-pin USB cable. Your standard JXD earphones. Now let's get the player off. Here's the play itself, but below it is a charger. It can be charged perfectly fine right from your PC through your USB cable, so you don't really need the wall charger for this. Anyway, here's the player itself. At first glance, the player looks quite nice. It looks quite sleek, but when you actually hold it in your hands and you feel the back and stuff, it feels rather cheap. I mean, I'm not commenting on the actual build quality, it's just the feel of the player. The buttons themselves are also very clicky. They could have done a little better job of it. Anyway, it has a 4.3-inch TFT screen. Your buttons down here, reset button here. It has 8 GB of internal memory. This particular play I'm holding in my hands. The models do come in 2 and 4 GB, no 16 GB at the current time. Up here's your headphone jack and your TV out cable. TV out jack. Down here is your TV in for recording. Over here in this hidden slot is a SD memory card slot where you can add up to an additional 8 GB of memory. And over here is a 5-pin USB cable. And back here is the 2 megapixel CMOS camera. And up here is a microphone. The camera on this is actually surprisingly better than what you normally find on MP4 players. Alright, let's turn this player. Let's turn this player on. It does have a hold button up here too. Alright, the user interface right away I'm going to tell you is not very well developed. It's severely lacking and limits the player's ability, especially this chipset, which looks to be pretty powerful, more powerful than the RK270608 chipsets that are currently out, and the older Ingenic chipset. I'm not talking about the 720p chipset, but the older ones that have been found on like the 777 and such like that. Anyway, here's a main UI. Some of you who have seen other JXD players will know that it looks very similar to previous JXD players. I'm not really going to go into the other functions too much because, like I said, it's just poorly developed here. It just looks awful and is awful. This is your music player. It looks awful. I mean, like I said, I mean, the bad user interface reduces the overall functionality, and for the music player, you can really only use this to use as like a shuffle. You can't really do anything else with it. And the buttons, the way they're laid out, it makes it even more cumbersome that although it looks like there's fast forward, rewind buttons up and down here, in reality what you're doing is when you press this button, it changes the option there, like for rewind, then you have to press the play button and it enacts whatever that button is and rewinds. So it's very cumbersome, not very easy to use. Anyway, I'm done showing. Oops. Saying that if you want to pause it, you have to go back to the pause and then press enter. Go back. Really, if you want to see more of these features, I would recommend visiting our blog and checking out the pictures I have and what I've written there for the other features. There's plenty of images to get an idea of how they function. It's how they overall function is very similar to other players, but how they've been implemented is disastrously poor. Anyway, here's a video, and if you're going to buy this player, and yeah, we are going to sell it, even though I've said how bad the UI is. It's because the video is very good. It outperforms any of the rock chip players that we have right now. That's for sure. Okay, first off, the famed claim of this player is I can play 1280 by 780 resolution videos. I don't have a video that's in 1280 by 780, but I do have one in 1280 and 544 resolution. But it doesn't matter, even if it was in 720, yeah, 720 resolution, or 720p as you want to call it, it still wouldn't play properly. Yeah, the claim is that it can play that high resolution. Yes, it can. The video will start, the video will play, there'll be movement, but as you'll quickly see, the audio is completely out of sync. And this isn't just on this video file, it's just out of sync. It's off by a couple of seconds. And this is always the case. Even on the sample files that JXD gives, that other sites have shown, the Chinese reviewing sites show, look, this is a very high resolution video that's playing. What they don't tell you is that the audio is completely out of sync. So it is bad false advertising by not only JXD, but those Chinese sites are pretty unreliable too. I mean, quite clearly you can't watch a video like that. But anyways, delete. I did down convert the video just using V-drop, and here's a video in 960 by 540 resolution with a high video bit rate, and I encoded an AC3 with a very high bit rate also, 640 kilobytes per second for audio, which for rock chips would be disastrously too high for any videos with that high audio bit rate. And as you'll see, this plays perfectly. And this is why we'll be carrying this player, because you can play high resolution videos in sync, smoothly, at 30 frames per second. And it's cheap. For those wondering already what the cost of this player is going to be, it will be about $89 US for the HEB. 4.3 inches. And plays, you can pretty much get any video, TV episode off the internet, that isn't in already in Blu-ray format or whatever, but they will play on this perfectly fine without any sort of conversion, even ones with very high audio bit rates. And the TV out is surprisingly good too. Although they claim that it has the same the TV out resolution is the same as DVD, I can't attest to that. It didn't look like DVD quality. It did look better than VCD quality, those of you who are familiar with what VCD quality is like, which is pretty much a little lower quality of DVD. And you see the viewing quality is very nice. Screen is very good. It isn't an LTPS screen that JXD did claim to me. It is. I do believe it's a TFT screen. And by the way, the original video source for this was for the trailer I got was in 720p that I down converted. This video here would not play on any rock chip player smoothly. On this player it has no problem. This movie's gonna be so badass. Anyways. And there's a bookmark option for every. And it does also play the site pretty soon. Probably might already have it if you're watching this. It'll be about $89 for off our site for the 8 GB. So head on over to mp4nation.net and check this out, or head on over to our forums to discuss this. Thank you.